Hello everyone, welcome to Headlines of the Day. This is 25th of March and we are back again with some of the major articles from the Hindu newspaper. Let's begin our today's discussion. There are three articles relating to India-Russia relationship from page number 1, 6 and 10. This is from GS2 International Relations section. The first article is about government steps to tackle Russian trade hurdles. And there's another article that is headlined as Time for India to redefine its relationship with Russia. Another one is India abstains on the United Nations General Assembly votes. So from these articles, the key highlights you need to consider are how Russia's war on Ukraine has decisively shaped international opinion, how Indian foreign policy is also going to be affected in profound manner, what is India's strategic challenge, what are the steps taken by the government to overcome these challenges, and why does India abstain from the two UNGA votes on Ukrainian humanitarian crisis. Okay. Now moving on page number 5, there are three articles from GS2 Polity and Governance on page number 5 itself. So the very first article is Supreme Court keen on ending the Mullaperiyar battle. From this article, the key highlights to consider are what is the ongoing controversy over the Mullaperiyar Dam? Why is the Mullaperiyar Dam a sore point? What happened in the legal battles and what is the current status now? The second article is about the Silver Line project, that is the Pinari meets Modi says Prime Minister responds to K-Rail positive. So from this article, you have to understand what is the Silver Line project, what are the features of this project, and where does the Silver Line project stands now. Why are there protests against this particular project? Now the third article is about Dhami government to form panel on the Uniform Civil Code. So this article relates to Uttarakhand government. From this article, you have to consider what is the Uniform Civil Code, its significance and need, challenges, various judgments relating to the Uniform Civil Code, how does idea of a Uniform Civil Code relate to fundamental rights to religion, and what can be the possible scenario ahead. Moving on page number 5, there's an article about Sarin at Wings India 2022. From this article, you have to learn some key facts relating to the Wings India 2022. As you can see in the picture, IAFs Sarin team performing flypast at the first day of Wings India 2022 that happened in Hyderabad. Moving on page number 6 from GS2 International Relations, there are two articles. First one is the peculiar case of Ladakh's eastern boundary. From this article, certain key highlights to consider are what is the issue of Ladakh's eastern boundary and ongoing conflict between India and China. You have to know about the emergence of Ladakh as a distinct entity, various treaties and agreements in this particular context, and what is the present status of military and diplomatic dialogues and relevance of reaching a mutually acceptable resolution of remaining issues, and what can be the possible scenario ahead. There is another article that is about crisis in Sri Lanka. So from this article, you can understand why is Sri Lanka facing an economic crisis, what is happening in Sri Lanka, and how does it affect India, and what can be the possible scenario ahead. Moving on page number 10 from GS2 Government Policies and Interventions. Now this article is about FCRA registration of NGOs that has been extended. That is the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act's registration. So from this article, you have to understand what is the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act and how does it control donations. When is a registration suspended or cancelled, and what lies ahead for NGOs like Missionaries of Charity. Alright, moving further on page number 12 from GS2 Health section, there's an article about TB. India to be TB free by 2025, says the Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia. From this article, certain key highlights to consider are you have to know about the facts related to tuberculosis and the World Tuberculosis Day. What are the findings of India's TB report 2022 say? What is the actual disease burden of TB at a national level, and what more needs to be done in this particular regard? Moving on page number 14 from GS3 Economy section, there's an article about Reserve Bank unveils hub for innovation. The Reserve Bank Governor Shaktikanta Das has inaugurated the Reserve Bank Innovation Hub in Bengaluru, which is intended to encourage financial innovation. From this article, the key highlights to consider are what is Reserve Bank Innovation Hub, its features and objectives. Well, that's a wrap of today's edition of Headlines of the Day. For regular updates, you can follow us on our social media handles, and for more such videos, do stay tuned to the Next IAS YouTube channel.